What's going on YouTube? Today we are back in Tristan's car, the red S2000. Came to me, had some issues, figured some stuff out. Well, he ended up blowing a head gasket, so he went ahead and did his own head gasket repair, and he said it's running funny. So we went ahead, picked it up. He had some issues with it, so we're gonna look at the tune. We're gonna kind of go over some diagnostics and just see what it's doing. I'm about to take it down the road now, see how it acts. So yeah, that's on today's episode. All right, so one thing I noticed is his turbo is really loud. I mean, like, I've never heard a turbo this loud before. So I think something's going on with the turbo. It was fine when it was here before, so I'm not sure what changed. I mean, he did blow a head gasket, so I don't know if it saw a lot of water in the bearing and then it cooked the bearing in it. That's a possibility, I guess. So I'm going to see if he wants me to pull the turbo apart and check the bearings in it. It doesn't sound too good. All right, so we got Tristan's turbo out, and what I can tell so far is that this doesn't really spin real nice, and it's very tight. Like, there's absolutely no thrust play. There's no bearing play, and you should have some kind of play there. Okay, that looks kind of funny there too. Look at that. I don't know what's going on there. This is leaking really bad, so we're going to tear this apart and see what we can. All right, so this is a ball bearing system, so there's nothing I'm gonna be able to do with this. So the only thing we can do is put it back in and see what it does. The one thing I did notice is that, so Precision has their own restrictor here. And when I pulled the feed off, we have another restrictor on top. And I'm saying that is tiny. So, as you can see, Precision's restrictor much larger than this guy. So now we're restricting the oil twice to the turbo. And the noise could just be the bearings are just that freaking dry because it's got no oil in it. So hopefully the bearings didn't get cooked. I'm going to remove this restrictor. Actually, I'm probably just going to drill it out big and put everything back together, put it back on the car, see what it does, because these already come. I believe this might be a Gen 2, might be a Gen 1 ball bearing, but I think it might be a Gen 2. Actually, no, I think the Gen 2s had this is the Gen 2. They have that round guy. So this is actually an old Gen 1 62. As you can see how tiny the wheel is. Doesn't sit. The Gen 2s, they added some depth. And then the next gens are really deep compressor wheels. So yeah, this is the Gen 2. This is off Jamie's car. This is a Gen 1. So this is an old style dual ball bearing, which I know they had a lot of problems with these units back in the day. Still make power, just had problems with the center housings. As you can see, they revamped center housings. Here's an old Gen 1, which I should have known because I know the Gen 2s have these slanted air ducts. The Gen 1s did not. So as you can see too, they have their own restrictor, guys. You don't have to put a restrictor. All you got to do is put an AN fitting. So don't restrict these any more than what Precision's telling you to. So I'm hoping it's just starvation of oil, which is really weird because I haven't talked to Tristan yet. I don't know if he added this or if he put this on by accident or what, but this turbo wasn't noisy before. So I'm hoping it didn't destroy the bearings in it. So it is really tight. I mean, like, this one you can feel a little bit of play, and this guy is like no play whatsoever. Very tight. So, I mean, it still moves. We still have movement and stuff. The blades look fine. So, we'll found another discovery. So, I pulled the feed out to look. And I saw this O-ring was messed up. When somebody reinstalled this, so, all right, guys. So, on a dual ball bearing, if you look down in there, it's really hard to see on camera. I'll try to zoom in. But, so there is a, let me get a pick. If you look way down in there, you can see that that chamber, you see it moving? The dual ball bearing has a hole, and you can actually move that to the left or the right. It's really hard to do here with my, and it can be offset, and if it's offset, this lines it up, and then that's your spray, your oil spray. Well, somebody, it caught, and then they shoved it in, and they didn't even get this all the way down, and then the seal broke. So I don't know if Tristan did this when he reinstalled everything, when he did the head, but that very well could have been our problem right there. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to line this all up, see if I can get this flush. We'll go from there. All right, now it's flush. Put a new O-ring on there, a Vitan O-ring. It's nice and flush now. I'm gonna have to see if Tristan took that off. All right, we got our drain back on. I added some lock washers, brand new gasket on there. And yeah, we're ready to go. So now the fun is putting this all back in. I think I'm gonna clean up the compressor area, blow it off, and get this girl back in the car. All right, we're all back together. Got turbo on. I ended up drilling out that restrictor and got the inlet of the oil back on. Everything's hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and start it up, see if we got any funky sound. All right, so far so good. Turbo's spinning, no noises. I don't see any oil leaks. Turbo noise. We just got, sounds like a downpipe noise. All right. All right, turbo sounds quiet. I think we fixed the turbo. We moved the downpipe up as well, so no more downpipe vibrating. All right, now we're just gonna go ahead and look at the tune, see if we can't get her dialed in here for the season. This is called an overflowing catch can, guys. If you're gonna run one, you gotta empty them, or it's gonna make a mess and your car is not gonna breathe. Also, when he blew his head gasket, he's got a ton of oil in here, so we're gonna clean this all up. Oh gosh, she is back to ripping. We did have a problem when I drilled out that oil restrictor. Ended up giving the turbo too much oil, and it was smoking at idle. So these turbos apparently do need a oil restrictor on them. So went ahead and got a new oil restrictor, just threw it on, took it around the block, and it seems to have cleared up the smoking. So I think she's good to go. It's on 15 pounds, runs pretty good. I don't think I'll have any issues with it. So hopefully you can have some good fun with this car. Hopefully not have any more problems. Keep it on a lower power level just to have some fun with it. I know he is planning on maybe doing some more stuff next winter, so we might see this car again. I think he might be looking for some more power, so we might be doing some drivetrain upgrades and stuff. So that'll be cool. So we'll see. We might see this car back. Really clean car. I like working on it. It's really well taken care of, and he does take care of it. It's a really good car to work on. So hopefully he has fun. But hey, it's going to do it for this time. I'll catch you guys later.